Hi, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Lady Justice Talks, where curiosity meets law.
Today you're here with your host Susubi,
Anita,
Rubel,
and our lovely guest, Yasmin. Please introduce yourself.
Hi. Hi, my name is Yasmin. I'm going to my 5th year as a double major in law and philosophy. I'm also a work study for LAMPS colleges, and I am currently putting a huge emphasis on trying to get my French certificate.
Oh,
so
wow.
amazing. And also you roll in WILA. You forgot about that?
How could I forget the most important thing?
Right.
These people are my family. Okay. I'm also part of the beautiful, wonderful club, Women in Law Association, or WILA.
What's your position?
I'm the VP of Student Engagement and Success.
Wow.
Queen.
seems like you're doing so much in your
Yeah,
life.
I think
Yeah.
she's
And-
amazing. She's an amazing guest for this episode since our episode is about work.
Work-life balance.
Yes.
Yes.
And
Shout
you
out to
said,
law schools for making me do so much work.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
you
So,
said you were going to your 5th year in
Philosophy?
Yeah.
Double major.
Yeah, double
Yeah.
major law and philosophy.
philosophers.
Okay, and you're also working.
Yes.
So do you want to tell us a little bit about your schedule, how this year is looking for you, what you're planning, how to balance everything with your
Because that's a
work?
lot of responsibility.
Yeah.
Double major
Yeah.
is a whole thing. Like I was doing a minor
didn't
and
even
I was
think
already
about
like, yeah.
No, it's definitely a lot of work, but I feel like if you choose something that you're passionate about, the whole stressing about it and difficulty of it becomes much easier. So if anyone out there is trying to become a double major, I would definitely suggest choosing something you're passionate about rather than what like everyone else is telling you to, because it's your money. One, it's pretty expensive, and two, it's so much work. So
Ow.
do something that like you're passionate. But
Your schedule.
my schedule looks like so I actually recently enrolled my courses. I have 6 courses per semester next year.
Wow.
It's okay.
So how do you
Alongside
manage it?
working?
Sorry?
Alongside working?
Yeah, I actually took a little short break from working because I'm looking for a different job. I'm trying to do research.
But
So I'm, like,
logically, you working.
Working at the same time of like finding a job, but working, but also studying. and running
That's a
clubs.
lot of
incredible.
stuff. Yes,
Thank you.
So I really wonder like how you actually manage. Like, do you have like specific like I don't know, like steps or plans that you or strategies that you use, or do you just like go for it somehow it works out?
Definitely not. Do not just go for it. I did that in my first year, and I would definitely say that was the biggest mistake. Cause, like for me, I'm a visual person, so when it comes to anything, I prefer it to be right in front of me. So what I do is that I like to plan things out and write it down.
Right.
I'm losing my voice.
You're
And
fine.
So what I do is basically I write down what needs to be done at the beginning of the week and just basically implement the system based on prioritization and due dates. And that helps me a lot.
Yeah.
Right.
And you did that at the beginning of the week?
Yeah, like on a Sunday night or a Monday morning. Because it like helps me visualize, okay, this is how my week is gonna look like. And this is what I need to do.
I do something similar, but I use Google Calendar. And I just put down everything, and like throughout the week there's stuff that like comes up, so sometimes the schedule doesn't even like stay the same.
Yeah.
So there's stuff that comes up, but I feel like having your schedule down, whether it's writing it, putting it on a digital platform, whatever, is like one of the main ways that helps you like keep organized.
Oh, for sure.
Because also like it also helps from forgetting, because I feel like sometimes I'd be like forgetting what I have on my schedule,
Yeah.
and
So,
then
yeah.
I'd be looking at it, I'm like, oh my god, like I have to do this assignment, like I'll work. So I feel like the first step is that schedule that you need to like
Okay.
have.
Yeah.
on
Okay.
your
Now
phone.
I'm curious to know, like every time, because I plan whenever on the Google calendars, like it never works for me because something unpredictable or unforeseen or some family responsibilities come in, and I want to know, you have such like great things to do in your life, and it's how you manage the unforeseen and unpredictable things in that weekly plan that you create.
I feel like life happens no matter what. So schedules are never like set in stone. You can always expect something to happen that you did not see it coming or you did not foresee it, and you're just like, oh, okay, what should I do? The biggest thing I will always say, and I say that to like the first year students at my work too, do not panic. Because you're gonna be like, okay, I have to get everything done. No, you're gonna overwhelm yourself, you're gonna stress out, and trust me, you're not gonna get anything done.
Yeah.
So what I do is, let's say if something with like family emergency happens, what I like to do is look at my schedule and be like, all right, what type of task can I move to a later day or later time?
So you figure out what to prioritize first.
Right.
Exactly. Like, okay, if this is like a family emergency, that's gonna come first, and everything else that I can manage to put last, I will put last.
What if it's like assignments? Like there's
Email
do you do
Yeah.
it? Would you do it based on due dates?
I would
you guys do it based on
100%.
the
Yeah,
dates?
due dates. Yeah.
Due dates?
Yeah.
Okay. What about like something weighs more but it's due later? Still the due date?
If it weighs.
So yeah, I'm
I
like,
feel like it's about like you're just overthinking it. Like it's about like it's really about like the situation. Like that's the thing. That's the thing about like work-life balance. That
Yeah.
it's like life, as you said. Like life happens.
Yeah, for
It's
sure.
not about just like set in stone. Like I guess when you visualize work, you think like, oh, I have my work schedule or have this. You can't really have a schedule for life. You will just have things that just show up. Like a friend will just. Well, now we kind of like adults now. I guess we like if you want to hang out with a friend, you kind of like put it on your calendar as well. Or
Yeah.
personally, I do
Yeah,
that.
do that.
But you know, stuff that just could just happen. So instead of like trying to think like, oh, if I have like this like kind of like scenarios, I think you'll have to like be inside it to know.
Yeah.
And it's all about like I'm glad that you're mentioning like this anxiety, because I remember in my first year as well, I know you're mentioning like first
Yeah.
year was always like something that you kind of like discover uni in.
Yeah.
And I remember I was going to like my mom and I'm like kind of like crying and I'm like, I don't
It's
know,
hard.
like I have like too much readings. I don't know like how
Yeah.
to like finish and stuff. And she was literally just so calm and she was like, uni is all about catching up later. And I was like, yes, like yeah, she ate
yes.
that. Like she ate that. It's like literally that's what you need to know. Like when you're coming with this mentality, like this perfectionist mentality that like, oh, I got readings assigned, I should finish all like whatever, how many like hundreds of papers read and written and everything in this particular time. No, sometimes you can just like catch up later for this particular thing.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, like for me, because I'm a full-time student, I always start with my studies. I like when I'm making my plan, I always put my classes, assignments, readings, everything first, and then the any columns or cells I feel it's free, I can set up other things with that. thing.
exactly. Yeah.
So like it depends upon your roles as well. If you're considering yourself as a full-time student, take that study thing first and plan everything accordingly. And like if you're a part-time student and you're like working, keep that things first, like your work, then set up other things with that. So I think it even depends upon the roles you are playing in your life. So set up according to that thing.
Like for example, I already enrolled in my courses, and so I'm taking like 5 courses each semester. You know, the full for full course load, and then I'm also working part-time, and so I've already like what I did was first I picked out my schedule, and then I put in the days that I put in like 2-3 days that I'm free for work, and then like you said, everything else comes after that, because like those are my priorities, right?
Yeah.
So first is like school, and school for me takes priority over work, and obviously not in a way that like I want to keep working, like even during midterm seasons, during finals, I want to keep working because I want to have that stable source of income, no matter how little or big it could be. But school does come first for me, so I just try to. So that's also another pressure I feel like with work-life balance, like not even like with friends, just like simply during that school year when people like are working, because I've seen like a lot of people like also like quit their jobs because you know, school, like it depends for everybody, it's different. Every major has different like workloads as well, right? So it's totally understandable, but I feel like that's also still very hard. But then it becomes, for example, for those people, it becomes hard to manage their like social life.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
yeah.
Because I want to mention that. Okay.
No,
yeah.
so sorry. I just wanted to quickly to
yeah.
what you said.
Yeah.
Something that I will emphasize on, and I don't want people to take this in the wrong way as me saying, "Oh, do not prioritize your education." No, prioritize your education
Yeah.
by all
100%.
means.
Yeah.
However, life happens. So the biggest thing that losing my voice today.
Like I can't.
The biggest
yeah.
thing I always emphasize to like not only like myself, like I have to remind that to myself, but also to anyone around me who's in the same position, like a full-time student and has other responsibilities aside their education, is that ask for help when needed. Listen, professors are so understanding. If they're not understanding, go to the dean. Like literally, because it's their job. If you email them,
Yasmin
like,
has strong opinions
yeah,
today.
I have personal experiences too.
I've
So-
never been to
Oh
a
my god,
dean.
personal experiences.
Does it
Okay,
actually
yeah.
work? I've never been to
Yeah,
a dean.
because like not in a way that you're disrespecting the professor, but in a way that hey, like I had a valid
Use
reason,
your resources.
Yeah, to ask for extensions and to ask for some extra support, and this professor was unwilling to assist me for that. So please do something. And
I have
they always
example to
accept
it.
it.
Yeah, because I know a lot of people ignore that thing. Like, what are he gonna think about us? Like, they are really helping. I know because I have the major accounting majors. I'm doing commerce, and I have to take some general studies. I have NAT scores like out of my everything. So it was like completely different for like physics and numbers, equations, a lot of stuff. So like every time, like sometimes I ignored because professors, when you go to him, he knows like where you're gonna stuck. So sometimes I even ignored that point, and sometimes when he saw me back sitting back or somewhere in the class, he comes to me, Rubel, I was talking about that thing, did you get it? Because I know that was the problem with you, because you're gonna always stuck with that
That's very
point.
kind.
That
So
is very
do
sweet,
you
yeah.
want me to explain, or did you get it? So even I know that he was so kind to me. Sometimes after class, when everybody's leaving and he saw me back somewhere in the class or I'm leaving, he calls me like, because I had a like one lecture in a whole week, so I didn't meet him a lot. So I didn't meet him a lot in the whole week. So sometimes he called me down. I was like, did you read that readings? How you find it? Do you find it good? Like,
Yeah.
do you you can suggest me if you want me to change the way of teaching in that reading, because that was quite tough for students, because everybody's not from the nats, like everybody's taking that as a general course. So I would say with my personal experience, even it's in my first year, like he was incredible. Like we never met each other. Like it was my first time taking any course with him and like everything. And he personally comes to me and asks, because he know what's my weakness, where I'm gonna stuck. So I would say yes, professors really appreciate you and really help you. Never just like hesitate what he gonna think about you, or like what gonna be happen. So just go and use
Communication, yeah.
just communicate and
Because
just
they gotta
use your
know.
resources.
Because they
Yeah.
will not know like that you need help if you don't reach out for help. Because
Yeah.
they're like we're like even in high school sometimes like teachers don't notice,
Yeah.
although it's like a tiny class. But like we have like a huge like lecture hall. It would be nice to just like shoot an email and don't be embarrassed to just like
Yeah.
let them know, hey, I'm struggling a little bit. I have a lot on my plate. Can I do this? Can I do that? And you never lose anything. If the professor is not really like as understanding as the professor you had, it's fine. We can just like we'll see where we can go from there, right?
Yeah. And with all these busy schedules, how would you say you manage your responsibilities that come with handling your schedule, your busy schedule?
Wait,
Like the
what do you mean?
responsibility aspect, like
Family,
family, or like for example, my job specifically, there's a lot of responsibility in it, so that already stresses me out a lot. And on top of that, there's like doing good in school because we want to get into law school.
It's more like expectations.
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
so like how-
what tactics I use?
for example, yeah.
Yeah, okay. I feel like the biggest tactics I use, which is something that is like super overrated and you hear it all the time, which is another
Do you
topic
meditate?
without me ADHD in here. That's another topic that I also wanted to say. What I'm about to say is something that I always tell people. What we do in this generation, we hear stuff, but we don't listen to it. Like,
Yeah.
what I was about to say was time management and efficiency. And that's something we hear so
everywhere, every
Literally
time,
everywhere.
everywhere.
from your professors, from orientation, from your friends, parents, counseling, TikTok, Instagram. Like you see it all the time, but we hear it, but our brains don't go like, all right, let me process that and apply that to my life.
Yeah.
So like I learned in the hard way that I need to actually start listening, and I started doing that in like my second, third year. And so yeah, I basically try to implement a schedule and figure out what is a priority and what is not a priority, and also, do you guys know the Pomodoro technique?
Oh yeah, I heard
Yeah.
about it, but you
Yeah.
need to explain it because
Wait,
not
no, I
everyone
haven't
knows
heard
about
of
it.
it.
It's a really good technique. I 100% recommend that. If you want to succeed in efficiency, definitely go with that technique. It's actually an Italian cooking technique. So yeah, and that became a studying technique. Genius. But what happened was, So what you do is you basically put a 30-minute studying intervals of just putting all your attention and dedicating all your focus on your studying session, and you take a 5-minute break, and you repeat that for 4 times, and then after the 4th time you take a 20-minute break.
Like good. I've heard of similar tactics, and it actually works. For me, I've tried 45 minutes because like I feel like 30 minutes for me is not that much. Obviously it could be, I guess, different depending on how much you think you can focus for, because that's also, I feel like, another thing that it helps with people that have like small attention spans. Like sometimes I'm not able to, well, not just sometimes, like most of the time I'm not able to just sit down and study for like, hours onwards. So yeah, like 30 to 45 minutes and then a little break, I feel like helps a lot. And then that also helps you to actually like stick to that time like that you're going to study, because that 5 minutes is like a reward. And then it helps you
it's
actually
about reinforcement, really. I like it because I feel like personally I have this whole like mindset when it comes to studying with like discipline. So like it's really about like, the first 5 minutes I'll be uncomfortable. Let's say 15 minutes. The first 15 minutes I'm gonna sit down, I'm gonna write the essay, I'm gonna be very uncomfortable, but I'm gonna push through the discomfort, and somehow 2 hours later I'm like already like in it. So I feel like it's just like it flows once you like have the cycle of discipline in the beginning, if that makes sense. So and I really like how you're talking about like like different people have different capacities. I remember even like Ruba was telling me about how she actually got like an offer from another club, and I really respected you so much because she told me that she declined it because she realized, I have this and that, so I can't just like put on something else.
That was even a hard thing to say to like when you give the interviews and everything, you're done and you're just like about to sign the contract, and then suddenly realize I have so much to do, and that was very hard for me because that was not like an easy task to get that positions, but like rest of the other commitments I can't like put the other people like I can't like other things on the back, and that was really hard for me. And even I don't know if everybody suffers with that thing. Even that time I was like, there was question in my mind, is it good to quit the things because you can't tackle everything together?
Right.
Like I was feeling such kind of like at the back I'm demotivated and some like I can do it, like I can manage my life, and something like I have such good opportunity but I know how to manage this stuff. That was literally hard decision to make sometimes when you have like such good opportunities, and say no to something is sometimes really tough.
That happened to me too. And like the thing you said, that you start wondering whether you're like just giving up or can you not actually, like that happened to me too. So like I said, I study, and then I'm a part of 2 clubs, and then I'm actually leaving that club because I can't, but I'm staying here, guys. Don't worry, you're not losing right now.
You don't have a choice to leave anyway.
You're not losing it.
I skipped the heartbeat for a second.
I was just like, which club?
Guys, don't worry.
You don't have a choice. You're saying WILA.
That's the thing with law, particularly. I feel like there's a lot of like like this overachieving mindset. Like you want to achieve stuff, but like you don't want to overachieve things.
Also, it's worse when you see people. Okay, like for example, I think I'm doing great right now. Like I'm proud of myself of where I am in my life, with the job that I have, with my grades, with my extracurricular. I think I'm a well-rounded student, and it's good to like remind yourself that you're doing good, right? Not to always bring yourself down. But then also, like, when I see people, like, in my own program, doing, like, 3 clubs, doing, like,
so
part-time job, it's, like, like, that
then
question that you say,
somebody comes to you, I get the internship. I was like, whoa.
Okay, but like that's when like you draw the line, because the second you start comparing, that's when your mentality will go down the drain so quickly.
You're gonna go on LinkedIn, you're gonna see people talking about all types of like
the
experiences.
I'm working at like the best firm in Toronto. I got into like
and there are people who are young.
I'm done.
the first
My age. How?
the first like week I downloaded LinkedIn, I was literally like, what is going on?
I know.
Like,
Someone was talking about how like, oh, you guys always say Instagram is really toxic. Well, have you tried LinkedIn? Like, because seriously,
LinkedIn
it's
makes you question your life
Yeah.
and your decisions.
no, but you just
in
need
life.
to stay
which
in your
is-
lane.
Yeah,
High key.
which
Yeah.
is why what I have been doing since I was a kid, especially because okay, so my sister and brother were triplets, so we're the same age, right? And
Random fact drop.
no, because that helped me to learn to not compare myself. Because like right now, all three of us are doing different majors at three different complete universities. So obviously, also growing up, like we didn't have like we had similarities, of course, but like maybe I was better in like I don't know math. My sister was better in sciences, for example, something like that. So that already taught me that I shouldn't compare myself to.
Yeah, each person has their own identity.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So what I did growing up, and even right now, what I remind myself, because like I said, I'm saying I'm proud of myself for where I am in my life right now, and I think I'm good enough for where I want to get to. That doesn't mean I'm a part of like 3 clubs. I had an internship last summer.
Yeah.
Like you know what I mean. But what I started thinking about is that. I think so. I put myself and my goal, like, okay, what law school I want to go to. Let's say I want to, okay, U of T Law School. Well, that's a very far reach. But let's say I want to get to U of T Law School, right? I don't see what others are doing for that. I see what I have to do for that.
Yes.
So I see like, okay, like being a part of 2 clubs is enough. Having the job that I have is enough. Being a full-time student with the grades that I have is enough. So it doesn't matter if others like, because either way, I can't stop others from like getting all those like internships or those high grades. So it's what's important that you're focusing on yourself to just make sure that you meet the requirements for where you're trying to go. You don't even know what their goals are.
Exactly.
Like-
Everyone has different goals. That's the biggest thing.
Exactly what I was gonna say, and I love that you brought that up. Everyone is going through different paths and different journeys. Comparing yourself to someone else is absolutely ridiculous, in my opinion. And I know we all do that.
On so
Yeah,
like
it's like a
you
natural
just have
thing.
Consciously, we always
just not
do it.
fair.
It doesn't like I even do it. Like I'm here saying that to everyone. Like, do not compare yourself. But hey,
It
I'm a
happens.
human.
Yeah.
Like, it happens. But it's important
Yeah.
to know. Like I'm on a different journey that, let's say, my friend who's also trying to get into a law school. We're different people, different journeys, different. We have different environments that we're growing up in. Everything is
It's different.
Yeah, everything's different. Like the only thing that's maybe similar is our program and the same law school we want to go to. That's it.
Yeah.
So do not compare yourself. And the only thing you should do is remain on the journey that you're in at the moment, and just try and never give up. Don't quit. Try to just get to your goal and
Yeah,
achieve
and-
what you want in life.
Yeah, and this is cliche, but you do end up where you're meant to be.
Yeah. I believe that.
So
yeah.
like you could be way more qualified than your friend, for example, for a specific law school. But
100%.
she could get in and you don't. That doesn't mean like you weren't good enough for that. It just wasn't meant for her. And like I realized that after like I got to York, I came to York, and I'm like, like I would not switch my I would not switch my university. Like I've met so many amazing people.
Yeah.
Like I feel like this was the best choice for me as an undergrad. Like I got offers from other universities, but like you know what I mean? You end up where you're meant to be.
Yeah.
100%. For sure.
So, like, I want to say this disclaimer thing. We're not saying to delete the LinkedIn or social media stuff. Just use that for the motivation, because I saw that people, like, we're working with so many people. We have single mothers with us in the club. We have people starting at the age of 40. We have people, I'm sorry.
That was a great
that
catch,
was
actually.
really smooth.
Yeah, let's back
hot.
to the topic. Okay. Okay, so...
Yeah, so all of these people have different goals and
yeah, like forgive, like
she's the
somebody said
environments,
me
yeah.
that like when I know about the jobs, and when was at the some phase of the life you've been through the, because the job as a student, you want to work and you want to be financially stable, and somebody said me this line like, look at the people who start their everything from the age of the 40. You're 19, you're 20, you're studying. Some people get the chance when they like set up their family, they have the money, then they start studying.
Yeah, it's all about
You're
your life
blessed
choices.
with the best. You are the blessed with the best. What you're doing right now, use that things for the motivation. Use the LinkedIn, use the profiles, but for getting the motivation from the people who are doing best or even in behind of you, but they're still struggling to be there where you are. So just it's kind of motivation for you guys. Like just don't take it like it's
So it's
pressure,
important
but
how
kind of
you look
pressure.
at other people's like
Yeah,
like
it's
yeah.
the, your
instead of
perspective
like
of like
Yeah,
looking
it's
the
exactly.
people.
It's all
yeah.
perspective.
Yeah, and this also reminds me of another question since we're talking about like other people and your relationship with people. Do you think your work-life balance could have negatively affected your like relationships, whether it's with family because like you don't
It'll be
have
more of
enough time
imbalance, really,
with
I
your
think.
with your friends because you don't have enough time to hang out with them, or just like that competition, like what do you think about the work-life balance having negatively impacted
No,
relationships?
definitely. And I can say this from a personal experience that it did affect a lot of like not my relationship with my family, but with my relationship with like people outside my family, such as my friends and my past relationships, like romantic relationships.
Your partners or
Exactly. And like so for in that sense, the biggest thing I will emphasize on is surround yourself with good
best.
people. With people that understand you, with your type of crowd. Because let me tell you one thing. If you don't, what will end up happening, I'm losing my voice today. I'm so sorry. Is that they will start burdening you with more things like, oh, you don't have time for me.
Yeah.
They will start stressing you
Toxic.
out. I just started
Yeah.
getting anxiety because I'm like, listen, I'm trying to study for LSAT. I have like this seminar that I'm trying to get into. I have like 6 courses, etc., etc. Like I have A, B, C, D, E to deal with, and you're out here going like, you don't have enough time for me. Like seriously, like that's crazy. So definitely like I'm very grateful because right now I'm at a position in my life where I do have a partner who understands me and I have friends who full on support me. Like if I say I'm busy, they would not be like, oh, so you don't have time
Like,
for me.
you don't love
you
me?
don't love me anymore.
No,
I see how
to be
it
honest,
is.
I
I'm
always
like, no.
I think about it of like this like psychological perspective because I remember I read it in like one of like the Psych 1010 textbook that
We love psychological perspectives.
so
Well,
yeah, so
yeah.
you know how like
Every
everyone
time.
is trying to like know is it opposites attract or is it birds of a feather? So apparently the
fly together.
anyways so
Sorry.
apparently it's the birds of a feather. So and I think that just like applies to your situation because I feel if you are a person who like is really highly motivated and has a lot on their plate, which is great, but you're with someone who's like less motivated, who's
Yeah.
like less busy, it will like I feel
Clash.
like it like oh this person is so bored because literally like get a life, like they don't have
Get
like
a life.
they don't have a life. Like I'm not saying like if you don't have as much responsibilities as
don't have a life.
me then
Yeah.
you're less than me. No, but like
Yeah,
Get
you need
busy
to
with
surround
other
yourself
things.
It's
with
kind of
people.
river without banks,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
just flowing.
yeah.
Don't know what's the destiny.
And like I feel like it's such a frustrating position to be also put into because like someone that I was talking to actually, he was also a law student.
So,
So,
you'd expect
Exactly,
that
like he will be like, oh, right now I need to FaceTime you, we need to go out, blah blah blah. And I'm like, no, I have assignments. And he's like, oh, so I'm not a priority anymore. I'm like,
First of all, no.
first of all, no.
no. Like,
First of all, you ain't even my man yet. First of all. That was like 2 years ago, guys. I can diss. It's fine.
Oh
I can
my
be
God.
shady.
like no, it is true though. Like,
Yeah,
what
my
do you
academic
mean?
goals will always come first. I'm sorry if that hurts anyone's feeling, but my academic goals will always come
Because
first.
that's your life.
People comes and goes.
yeah, because
What stays is your law degree.
it's all
Yeah.
guys, it's all about your values and you need to find a partner who shares the same values as you. And
Believes and grow
Yeah.
together.
Yeah.
exactly.
Yes,
If I'm all for
that was bad.
there's a lot of partners who have like my priority is my partner and they are
Yeah.
great partners. Why? Because both of them share the same value. That part like our relationship is a priority. But if your values say, oh no, you said school comes first for Anita, for whoever work comes first. So just share that with your partner before you like get into it like as a whole
Yeah.
relationship and then you realize, oh, maybe this will not work out.
Because Yeah, because surrounding yourself with that type of people, it just exhausts you more. Like you're
It is.
already
Yeah,
trying
even
to
in friendships,
Absolutely.
Like,
even in
yeah.
friendships too. Like
like you're already trying to balance so much while keeping your social life or I don't know any romantic relationship you might have.
Yeah.
But in the opposite, they're just exhausting you, and then that's gonna take away from you like doing your best at your work or
Like
at
my
your
favorite
yeah.
type of friendships are the ones that like we could not talk for a while.
And
Not that I
still-
choose to, but like
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
just
yeah,
busy,
yeah.
Life just
and then
happens,
we
yeah.
just catch up later. Beautiful, like yeah, let's go for coffee, let's go for
Exactly.
bubble tea, and we're just like
and
we're
you guys
fine.
talk
Yeah.
as if like you
if
talk
nothing
every
happened.
day, as
Yeah.
if like you
Yeah.
didn't like. It's not like you guys didn't talk for a week. No.
Yeah.
This summer
Like,
was
yeah.
so. Wait, no, go ahead.
No,
go
no,
ahead.
it's okay. I actually just want to like about the friendship. Or, like, I have the example how I manage my things is like small gestures, as you mentioned. Just let them know. Like even for my mom, mom is back in my home country, and there's like it's her bedtime right now. So she never calls me directly. She know I will be doing some podcast if
Yeah.
I'm sitting
Time
here.
difference is a
so,
big thing.
Small gestures. She drops a message. Hi, kid. What are you doing? Are you good? I'm fine. Like we just drop
Yeah.
messages. And like even for my like to my BFFs, like don't text me because I'm gonna record there. They're gonna be audio. So I'm gonna go there and just like all the best.
Yeah.
That's like let
Yeah.
them know.
Yeah, there's
Be
no space
open
for
with them,
toxic.
just- yeah.
Yeah.
They totally understand. They appreciate the thing, and it even makes them feel special that you're going somewhere. You're letting us know. That makes them feel special, and it's like, yeah, we're with you. You're going. All the best with your recording, and do the best and everything. So I feel like communication and small gestures, if you make in the relationship, everybody like not the everybody,
yeah, for
but like
sure.
people with you will understand. And this is for me. Even I'm lucky that I'm blessed with the good people surrounding me. But I think the small gestures that helps me a lot for like be the good with the relationships and the things, something like that.
Can I quickly jump in to say something?
Yeah, yeah.
This is not me. Like what I just said was not to encourage people to fully ignore their personal
people off.
relationships. Like they'll be like, yeah, you know what? I don't care. I want to be a loner for life. I'm not gonna talk to my family.
Block
my
them.
friends. Yeah, like I'm not gonna like have a relationship, just my academic goals. Because let me tell you something, that's also extremely exhausting, and after a certain point, you will regret it.
Yeah.
What you should do is what I do. Personally,
Period. What she does.
do what I do, and that's it. Thank you. That's the end of the podcast. No, I'm joking. Something that like I started learning when I turned 18, specifically, was start prioritizing people based on how much they respect you.
Yeah.
Because listen, I could be respecting you for your life values and for your goals and for whatever that you need me to respect you for. But if that's not being reciprocated, if you don't respect me back, I'm not gonna prioritize you. That goes for friendships, that goes for family members, that can go for partners. If I'm saying I need time to study and you go like, no, I come first, but you need me to respect you when it comes to your time of like studying or personal time, I'm not gonna prioritize you. So like right now, anyone that I have in my life, like including like my parents, my best friends, or even my boyfriend, I prioritize them because I can see that they support me, and I'm not only like, it's not a one-sided relationship where I'm only supporting them, but they understand. Like if I say I need time, even a week, and I won't be able to talk to you as much, I can maybe text you at 12 a.m. and be like, hey, what's up? I'm about to go to sleep. How was your day? And that's it. They can understand that. Like
Yeah, it's unconditional
anything
love.
you need, just
Yeah.
hit us up. If you want
Okay, let
ice
me
cream,
jump in
let me
that.
know.
Yeah. So just lines I read somebody that blood makes you related, not makes you family. But the loyalty, love, respect, trust, that
Exactly.
makes you the family. Even it's your friends. The friends, we don't have the same blood, but the love, connection, understanding we had, that makes our friends our family.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love like I have a friend that one time. What is wrong? I need my glasses. Hold on, I cannot five people. Anyways,
I'm actually wondering if like all of this is related to the fact that, well, you guys are in law, or is it something
What are
that
you in?
I'm in psychology.
Yeah.
Everyone knows this now.
Yeah.
Everybody knows this now.
No, I
Every
know,
time
I'm
we get
joking.
the psychology perspective.
What are you in now?
that's why she does like very beautiful analytical
yeah.
psych.
Yeah, literally
inputs.
just stare into your soul like the entire the entire episode. I'm just
I
like,
was joking.
I have a really close friend and she's also in psychology, and like sometimes like I say like, oh, I'm sad about something. She gives
just,
this
like, gets the
beautiful
notes out.
analysis, and I'm
Yeah.
like, damn.
So actually, you have depression.
yeah. So yeah,
Actually, you have crippling anxiety.
no, but actually, like, do you think that's something that's for law? Like,
What do you
like
mean?
as a like the legal field is something that work-life balance is like a priority in, or is it something like for everything?
No, I definitely think go. But I feel like it's for everything, but you go.
No, as obviously you're a guest who answer, but what I just remembered when you said this is that, no, like you mean for different majors, or just
Not necessarily
every
majors, but
person.
like a job or in the legal field is probably like really demanding.
Gender,
Yeah.
age,
So
Yeah.
everybody.
Yeah, what I was about to say is
'Cause it's
that
pretty competitive, right?
WILA had an event, our first event, where we had guest speakers, and they spoke about how important it is. And they told us after they became lawyers too, or when they entered law school, they realized how important it is to like take that like self care. We had an episode, we have an episode about self care as well, but just that work life balance and to keep that in mind. So I think, I don't know if it's just for law, because I know like other professions also could be very demanding, but in law I've heard it a lot. So yeah, go on.
No, no, I do agree, and also like shout out to everyone who managed Empower Her. That was a beautiful
Yes.
event. Go Willa, and also thank you for our panelists.
Yeah.
But so in my first year, I did think that. I was like, oh yeah, law is gonna give me crippling anxiety and depression, and I'm gonna die alone. I did think that, but it was also pandemic, so.
Okay.
Okay.
Oopsie. That was an
my
exaggeration.
mental health was already really bad, but I remember speaking to some of my law professors, and they're like, when you go to law school, it's going to be this, 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 and it was all negative things. And I was like, you're not really supposed to tell that to a first year, but okay. But the thing is, as like now I'm like going to my fifth year, and honestly, I would say it's for every single major. Like I grew up with two parents who were doctors, and I remember when when I was younger, they were still like doing their residency, and it was so difficult to manage raising a child while like simultaneously finishing their studies. And I feel like, in my opinion, any field or degree is difficult until you learn how to settle in.
Right.
The second you settle in, then you'll be like, okay, I can implement a system that helps me manage my personal life while simultaneously doing whatever else I need to do.
I
So
agree.
it's just a matter of time, and when you get to the point where you're like, I'm comfortable in what I'm doing and I know what I'm doing.
Yeah,
I
but
feel
you
like it's-
also
yeah.
shouldn't put it off.
No,
Like you should try your best to get to that place, because it's for your own good.
oh yeah.
So like, don't be like, okay, like right now let me just like get this and get this done, and then when I get to law school I'll start like organizing my life more.
Yeah.
No, because this is also what prepares you for law school. Or even if you are in law school, please start now.
I think
You take care of yourself.
Please take care of yourself.
I think that was
Go to bed
definitely.
early, please.
I think that was definitely a trick question, because like I knew that it will probably be like about all the fields, because like
Yeah.
I also need to like organize my
100%,
like work life
yeah.
balance, even
You're
though
gonna be like a therapist. You want to be a therapist?
we're, that's I'm not, I don't say my plans, I keep them, but you guys can reach me out on my LinkedIn if in a couple of years if you need some
Keeping
therapy.
it private. like she's like keeping it private. Now she's like advertising for herself.
No, because that's the thing. Wait, I wanted to talk about that when you talked about the LinkedIn thing. That one other thing that you need to know, even if you're doing less than this other person, it's all about the impact on you. Because a lot of people, I'm telling you, I've met a lot of people who like have the jobs, have the stuff, and you think like, oh, these people, you know,
put
they have
together.
their life together, and then you have a conversation with them, and you're like, wow, do not believe what's online. So really, it's all about like, I'm 100% sure this better be the case, because if it's not, that's like a scam. That like when they interview you for like a job or for anything, or like for law school, whatever it is, I'm 100% sure they actually wanna see what you gained from your experiences, even if they're two clubs or two whatever, like something like tiny in your opinion. Not that like, oh, you have like, it's more like quality over quantity.
Yeah.
It's not like, oh, I've done this internship, but then
heard-
they're
What
you
asking you and
learned
you
from
didn't really
yeah,
learn
what you
anything.
learn?
What you learned from it, right?
I've heard some are even more impressed when you do like not random jobs. Like I remember hearing from somebody that like was a lawyer, whatever, that it would be impressive to also see that, oh, somebody worked in camp, because that shows the amount of responsibility you have, because you're taking care of kids, right?
I worked with
How
camp.
you're
Yeah.
Didn't mean to up you there.
Anyways.
Continue.
But like, you know what I mean? So like don't see people working in big corporations, internships, or like
Yeah, there's
corporate.
what do they call
Like-
it? Transferable skills.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
something that you just
Soft
have.
skills or transfer.
Yes.
Transfer skills or
Like,
soft
yeah.
skills. Yeah.
So
Communication, leadership, personality.
Those are
I
big.
feel like that's
yeah.
not just for law school though. I feel like for any job interview,
Yeah.
when you
Yeah.
submit your resume, if they see that you've stayed in the same type of job field or the same type of like theme or aesthetic when it comes to professional fields, that it's kind of questionable. Like, do you not have any other skills?
Okay, listen
Right.
for me.
You know,
Listen
so like
for me,
switch
yeah.
up whenever you can.
Yeah.
So yeah, because we are talking about the law. So even for the business people, because I'm from the business majors, I've been to like many.
Business?
Yeah. Okay, let's talk about it later. Okay, so I've been to a lot of corporate offices and events, especially for students and internships and things. The only thing at the conclusion at the end I learned is like we need your soft skills. I was like, I'm going to the executives of that corporate, like big corporates, and like asking them like face to face, okay, do you want me to do this technical software, do you want me to learn this accounting software, this, and it was like, stop, we don't want that. We only need leadership, communication, how you gonna tackle our customers, how gonna talk, you're gonna behave as a good human being.
And-
so this is all I want on your resume when you're applying for internship in our like what do we call it, in our corporation or like in our office or whatever it is. So yeah, and after visiting so many corporate offices and stuff, this is what at the last I learned from them.
And work-life balance is a skill in itself. I did not know that, but I did this. It's a really good thing. If you're a student at York University, there's something called Become You, like Become
Yeah.
YU, and they talk about like the SMART goals and skills that you can get. And work-life balance is actually a skill. Like managing work-life balance is a skill.
Yeah.
And they even talk about like they have like tips and resources and stuff. You guys should definitely check it out. And like tutorial videos. And one of the tips that I saw was literally as simple as just like stand up and stretch, especially that like when you
Yeah.
work at like stuff that like you're sitting down.
9
oh my
to
god, that was
5.
not an order.
wait, but I feel the need to stretch now. Go on.
Okay, and you stand up and stretch, and that's just something that you just renew your energy with. That's just like simple gestures as these to yourself are really what like reminds you that like, oh, I need to like have this balance. I need to have like, it's not just like I'm sitting down just like crippling over my laptop the entire like 3 hours of my work, you know? So yeah, I just wanted to add
That felt
resource.
amazing.
Especially for the people doing like 9 to 5 jobs, this is must. And even I prefer you guys, if you're a York student, go for becoming YU, because I know there are like a lot of paid courses for time management, for learning, increase your efficiency.
Yeah, so this is for free. So
Instead
Yeah,
of
why
paying
is-
outside to any private organization or something, if you're a York student, you can take the benefits from the becoming YU.
and you can mention it in an interview too. So
Yeah.
'cause since it's a skill, you can just go like, oh, by the way, I took this program
Yeah.
that taught me this, and that, including the skill of work-life balance and other
Yeah.
skills. By the way, I'm just mentioning it because that's our episode topic.
Yeah.
But there are many skills that you can learn from something like that. So
Yeah.
yeah,
That's also a huge thing when it comes to hiring committees, because if they see that you took this step to sign up for a specific program that gives you the necessary skills that you not only in your professional field but also like when it comes to like your personal the personal aspect of your life, they'll take that into
it shows
consideration. They're like,
growth.
that's
Growth
huge.
mindset.
Like you just don't want to like impress me, but you actually want to succeed in life. So
Yeah.
Also, these all help in like when you're going to law school and you have to write when you want to apply for law school, and you have to write your personal statement. That's where all of
Yeah.
these come in, right?
Exactly.
So it's just it doesn't depend on where you did your jobs at or your internships or how many you did. It's about how you use those and incorporate the skills that you learned in that to write yourself like a personal statement about those.
Yep.
So, yeah.
Okay, yeah. Before wrapping up, I just want to ask you that for what do you think? The first year is the easiest years in the university or the fourth year? And doesn't matter it's first or fourth year. What's your advice to how like you want the future students and the students in the university right now to manage that everything?
So do you think it was easier for you in your first years when you just started like getting the hang of it, or is it easier now?
it's definitely easier now because in my first year I was just cramping, not just like studying wise but also like scheduling wise. course. And now, like, obviously, I've got the necessary skills and the hang of, like, what it's like to be a
You could take,
university
like, 6
student. Yeah,
courses.
exactly. That's what now I can handle 6 courses. Do not recommend. Don't do that. Why would you do
That's
that to
surprising,
yourself?
to be honest, because I feel like a lot of people think like, oh, 4th and 5th year, that's like when it gets serious or stuff like that.
Yeah.
But really, it's more like, oh, that's when you have the enough skills to like actually manage this.
I
Yeah,
think
so
it gets.
No, go ahead.
I think it gets more serious in the sense that your courses are more towards your major, which
Yeah.
makes it harder. But then, as she's going to explain, I guess, but it helps because you've learned how to manage your
Exactly,
time and
yeah.
that work-life balance.
Exactly. Like, I feel like the whole, like, stereotype about 50, like, your last year is becoming more difficult is because your courses become more dense.
Yeah.
That's the truth. So I feel like, just like you said, like, learning the necessary skills just help you manage them better. It's not that, like, you learn or become smarter. Yes, you do become smarter as you go through university, but it's more about, like, learning how to manage time and, like, your time and your studying and everything else better. So it's just about learning. You're
Anything
learning in
last
university.
advice or anything last statement for students you want to give?
Just that scheduling, I feel like was
Yeah.
really good.
Scheduling and ask for help. Like, I cannot emphasize this enough. You're a human being at the end of the day. Do not think you can tackle everything by yourself, because you
Yeah.
cannot. Sorry.
That's so true.
You can't.
You're a human being. Do not
You
think
can't
you
do
can
it.
be you can do A B C D E F G simultaneously
there's,
while
like-
being like, I'm gonna thrive in life. Ask for help.
And there's like so many resources too. Like,
Yes.
don't
Use
be
the
shy.
resources.
Go talk to, like, your
Not everything
professors,
is
family,
perfect.
advisors.
Not everything is perfect. Just try
Yeah.
your best.
Do not be a perfectionist.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Yeah.
thank
And-
you so much.
Thank you so much for Yasamin.
I just-
Thank you
Yeah.
for having me. We
I
have
just
a
wa-
full table too. Makes you happy.
Yeah, you have 3 hosts.
And
I'm
stay
flattered.
Yeah.
tuned for the next coming episodes.
Yes.
For WILA, Lady Justice Talks. And till then, toodles.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Thank you for listening.